worldwide at the Radisson Hotel in Green Bay. This is Locker Room with Local 5 Sports Director Bert Griffin.
The Packers made a statement of sorts in Atlanta, but the game of football is played for 60 minutes and not 3 quarters. And now Green Bay is back to 500 with a home opening date against New Orleans. Will the Saints go marching, or is the Pack back in Week 3? Get ready for another edition of Locker Room. Good evening and welcome to another edition of the show right here inside the Cedar and Sage restaurant at the Radisson Hotel and Conference Center. Well, the Packers are now 1-1 after falling to the Falcons on the road, but with 2 games in 5 days against both the Saints and the Lions, things could turn around in a hurry, which they probably will starting on Sunday. Here to talk about that and all things green and gold, former Packer player, coach, and 3-time Super Bowl champion, Harry Sidney.
Hello there, how we doing? How we doing, man? What's going on?
I love that. Got to wear that.
It's football season, and a lot of times I talk a lot about football, so I have to remind them of the credentials.
And people in the crowd usually want to take a picture with
and more
Super
than
Bowl
welcome
ring.
to. More than welcome to.
All right, lots to get to tonight. Current Packer linebacker Eric Wilson will join us in just a moment. But what did you see on Sunday in Atlanta that maybe the average fan didn't? Look, 3 great quarters of football, 1 bad one, and it cost them.
What you see in a young team like Green Bay, you see guys making plays and you see other guys not making plays. You see the young receivers making plays. You have guys on the defense that have opportunities to steal the game away and get an interception or do those things like that. When you're trying to build it, everybody has to contribute,
right,
and make the plays, because then you take the pressure off of. And Jordan Love, he's done nothing but play outstanding football.
Right now, if you just go by the numbers, he has, quarterback rating is there, touchdown passes.
Number 2 in the National Football League. Yes.
0 picks. He's done his job. The little shovel pass to Jaden Reed got things going. The rookie from Michigan State found the end zone in the first half, and it was a slugfest back and forth. But in that second half, especially the third quarter, whether it was Dontavian Wicks and his TD, breaking a tackle down the middle of the field, they played well.
Well, it's not just it's just what they did. You know, not only did he get a touchdown pass, but he slowed himself down so he didn't get hit, so he can make a move.
Yep.
And then you had the shuffle pass for the touchdown. We've been waiting for a slot guy to be that guy without it having to be an Aaron Jones. And so what you saw was those guys that you worried about the receiving core. I don't think you need to worry about that, even with their big horse not there.
Yeah, and they could be very deep at wide receiver in the end. Fourth quarter, couldn't get the ball moving and couldn't get a stop on defense. What do you think?
3 possessions, no first downs. They couldn't stop the ball. The running back, Robinson.
Yeah, Bijan
Robinson. I've been watching football I haven't seen a running back with his cutting skills in a long time. That one run, he had 3 cuts in a row.
Yeah.
The guy has incredible talent, and then unfortunately, Green Bay had a chance to face him.
Yeah, and it's not. He wasn't like Barry Sanders quick, but he was. I don't even know how to describe it. I can't even really make a good comparison.
It was Sutton, because he would all of a sudden he'd cut, and then he'd cut, and you know, when you don't have a lot of film on a guy early in the season, you really don't know how to prepare.
Yep.
And Atlanta had 2 running backs, just one pounded and one took it the other way.
All right, time now for our U.S. Cellular call of the game. We got to go with Mr. Love and Mr. Reed. They hooked up twice, but the first one, call it a shovel pass, call it a jet. What do you even call that these days anymore? It's technically a pass, but it's more like a shovel pass.
It used to be, you think a handoff, but because it's not, it's a little shovel, it's a shovel, and it counts as a passing touchdown, which is which is nice, but you got a guy that can do that. That's the bigger picture. You have a guy that can do that, especially with Aaron Jones, a guy that stretches the field, not available. You have somebody else that can stretch the field side to side.
Could have gone to Wicks, but we're giving it to Reed, and that is our U.S. Cellular call of the game. When we come back, it is time to meet our special player guest of the night. Packers linebacker Eric Wilson is in the house. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Locker Room right here inside the Cedar and Sage restaurant. He's Harry Sidney. I'm Bert Griffin. Please welcome Packers linebacker Eric Wilson, everybody.
Yeah.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Nice to see you, man.
All right. Well, fans in general are probably a little disappointed, but no one's ever as disappointed as you guys in the locker room, right? Yeah. When you know you kind of let one slip away. Is that true?
That's totally true. You know, we put in a lot of work throughout the week, you know, preparing and throughout the game. So especially in a close game like that, you know, we work our tails off to get the win. So hats off to them. You know, they did a good job and you know, making plays. So I definitely, you know, everyone knows that there's plays out there to be made to, you know, have the game in a different direction. So, you know, we just look back on the film and see what we can correct and get better.
Different question. You're a free agent. I was a free agent. Why Green Bay? Why are you in Green Bay? Because what's the story behind Green Bay?
So Green Bay, you know, I've always known Green Bay to be a tough football team, a historic franchise, and, you know, you want to be part of something like that. And especially with this defense, you know, I enjoy coming to work every day and, you know, getting better with my teammates. So I'm glad to be a part of it.
You know, do you feel like as a seventh-year guy that nothing's a given? I mean, you have to kind of prove yourself every year, and Harry knows about it, playing special teams. I mean, you had a long journey, CFL, USFL, you name it, and you end up with 3 Super Bowl rings. For a guy like you, do you start thinking about that now? Like, you get through training camp, you make the roster, you contribute a lot on special teams, #1 last year on the team, by the way. Is it about the ring now? I know everybody wants to get paid, but you want to finish your career with what he's got on his hands.
Yeah, for sure. I was just checking that thing out, by the way, before we got started. It's pretty sweet. That's our goal each and every year, and each and every team has the same goal. So it's a matter of what are you going to do day in and day out to achieve that goal? And it's about being consistent each and every day.
Yeah.
How different is the game now? You've been playing 7 years and there have been rule changes. How different is the game now, especially for you, a free agent? Special team was your key, calling. How different is the game with special team being eliminated?
Yeah, you know, they are changing some things around to, you know, take some plays away in a sense in special teams. So in some ways it takes opportunities away, but you have to find, you know, your niche and your role and your way and place to shine. And so there's plenty of plays out there to be made for everybody.
Well, it's on the schedule later on, but are you excited about playing some of your guys from Minnesota?
Yeah, you know, I played last year because I played in Minnesota for 4 years.
Yes. Right.
So,
I mean, you got your start there.
Yeah. So I know a lot of guys on the team. So I'm glad to still be in the division.
Yeah. Well, in 2020, by the way, this guy, everybody, 122 tackles a couple years ago. That is unbelievable for sure. So, and we know you can play. It's just about the opportunity. And right now, look, with most teams run a nickel defense. You've got Quay in one part and Devondre in the other, but you still get plenty of reps out there.
Right.
And that's all you can ask for, right? Regardless of where you are in your career? Yeah,
regardless. My position, even throughout college and throughout the NFL, I've played basically any and every position of linebacker. The middle linebacker, the outside linebacker, the linebacker on the line of scrimmage. So, you know, that versatility has helped me out so much, just understanding the defense, knowing where and when to make plays. So it helps a lot. It helps our locker room and our linebacker room.
All right, time now for our Easy Tab Fan Zone question of the week. This comes from Fan Zone, baby.
No, that's for you.
This one comes from Max Nasinski from De Pere. He wants to know, what is your pregame ritual and routine to get pumped up for the game?
Ooh, to get pumped up. Well, every game that we have, I take the early bus, or I get to the game like 3 hours before the game even starts. You know, I get my headphones on, get in my zone. I roll out, and then I go on the field, have my little warm up, dap my boys up, and you know, we're fired up by the time game's going. The speaker's always playing in the locker room before the game. So
what's your song? What's your song to get you rolling?
So my song, I don't have a particular song, but an artist that gets me hyped up is Meek Mill. Is a hype. You know, he's got some hype songs and some lyrics that just get you going. So
nice. You know what? You took that from my 1 minute drill, which we're going to do.
Did I do that, man?
We're going to do that.
I've been with you too long. I've been with you too long.
We're going to do that coming up after the break. More with Packers linebacker Eric Wilson. We'll also have our keys to the game. That's all coming up after the break here on Locker Room. Welcome back to the Cedar and Sage restaurant here in the Radisson Hotel and Conference Center. Our special player guest is linebacker Eric Wilson. You know this guy right here, Harry Sidney. So moving forward, you've got the Saints coming up, a short work week, which you know you only got like Tuesday practice, and that's about it. Heal up Monday. Thursday games are not fun, are they?
Thursday, yeah. It's a quick turnaround because you really have, a couple of days just to prepare. So it's kind of like you have to go out there and just play your rules.
Yep.
And with that, is it hard? And I know we played with that Coach Day. We play each game that week at a time. But with having the Saints and then you have a Thursday and you have the Detroit Lions coming in there, how hard is it not to look ahead?
Yeah.
I know you're not supposed to.
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
But how hard is it not to look ahead?
Yeah, because it's a thing. You go week by week, game by game. Yep. Someone asked me who we're playing a couple weeks down the road. I'm like,
don't know.
I don't know. I know who we're playing this week, and that's where my focus is. So that's kind of how you have to go in this league to keep yourself focused and to make sure you're handling business right now, because we have to win a game one game at a time. So
and it's only Tuesday. You'll feel the buzz in town get bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. There's going to be that concert over there. Stone Temple Pilots.
Stone Temple Pilots?
You don't even know who they are.
I know who they are.
All right, just making sure.
I don't know.
I think.
He does.
I think. I heard the name before. I don't know what they do, but I heard the name.
Look, and like this Saints team, I assume you guys, it isn't film that you watch with the all football, right? Field goals, touchdowns, how would you? It's impressive 2-0 team, but they're very beatable. Like this is a team that you guys know you can go out and handle, right?
Yeah, that's the thing about the NFL. Every team is an NFL team who has NFL players, so you have to come each and every game with that mentality of fighting to the end, regardless. Just like last game, it was down to the wire. So we have to be prepared to play a tough football team, which I've played the Saints many times before, and they're a tough football team who pride themselves on defense and handle things. And I'm sure after last game they're probably going to try to run the ball, so we have to settle that early and often. So yeah.
Speaking about running the ball, as a men's side linebacker, you look at Green Bay, you have different styles of running backs. What type of running back do you prefer to play against, or what kind of running back gives you fits?
Yeah, for me, it's a matter of just evaluating what type of running back we're playing, because you have to play a speed, juker running back who's just a flyer differently than just a power running back, and you have to prepare the whole week differently because everything that you're watching, the way that he moves is going to dictate our movements, especially as linebackers. So it's just something to prepare.
All right, well, it is time now to go in the zone, presented by Oneida Nation with Cam Nazir and one of your fellow teammates from the defensive side of the football.
Here with Packers linebacker Justin Hollins. Justin, I want to take it back to your Martin High School days back in Texas. You used to play on the same D-line as Myles Garrett. Has that relationship just continued to grow? And how cool is it to know that you both went to the same high school and you've made it to the pros?
Oh man, it's fantastic, man. It's a blessing that we've both been able to make it this far. And we just keep in touch here and there, and we just stay cool, man. That's about it.
So I think back, you got Texas, you played for the Denver Broncos, you played for the Los Angeles Rams. All of a sudden, now you're in Green Bay. I'm from the West Coast, so I totally understand when the snow starts falling, you're expecting the sun to come out rather soon. What's that been like? What's that adjustment been like?
Oh, man, it hasn't been too much of an adjustment, man. It's like Cali out here, man. It's like I'm in LA right now.
In what way?
You seen the sun out today, right? Yeah, it's like we in California right now, having a great sunshine. It's like about 70 outside. We good.
Well, how do you deal with the winters?
Oh, the winter. I ain't gonna lie. I bundle up. I layer up. Buy some thermals. I go over here to Cabela's, get me a jacket or two. That's about it.
So back to your Los Angeles Rams day. You win a Super Bowl. Not everyone has an opportunity to do so. What was that like? What was that year like?
Oh man, that was amazing. It was a dream come true. It was like I was in football heaven, man. It was like that's the best way to describe it, man. It's like the best feeling in the world. It's something you dream about as a little kid, something you dream about as an adult. and you finally, to go out there, win the Super Bowl, and be a Super Bowl champ.
So everyone knows Justin Hollins as a Packers linebacker. If you had to just describe yourself to any other person, maybe your hobbies or what you like to do, what you don't like to do, how would you describe yourself?
Best way I describe myself: cool, calm, collected, cool young fella, man. That's about it right there.
What do you do outside of football?
Man, I be gaming while I'm out here. I might go shoot a little bit of the shotguns, go ski shooting, or might go golf a little bit. Never really know. Go catch a nice little dinner, get a glass of wine, something like that.
All right, thank you, fellas. We're running out of time, so it is time now for our 1-minute drill. You're new to the show. You've been around a long time, but quick hitters, just like, the guys playing out there.
All right,
best thing you bought with your money so far?
First thing I bought really was a car.
And it was?
Dodge Charger.
Dodge Charger, nice. He already asked you what your go-to jam is when you're driving. Biggest influence in your life?
My family.
Favorite NFL player growing up?
It was Ray Lewis and Larry Fitzgerald.
Ooh, one on each side of the ball. All right, if you could be an athlete at pro level in another sport, what would it be?
Basketball is fun.
You're a hooper. By the way, state champion in the long jump. Did I read that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
There you go.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, Las Vegas or the beach?
The beach.
Dogs or cats?
Both.
Both. You can't.
Both.
No, you got to pick one.
like that.
Dogs.
Dogs. All right. Golf or fishing?
What was the first one?
Golf or fishing?
Golf.
Golf?
Yeah.
Steak, fish, or chicken?
Chicken.
And for Eric Andre Wilson, where does Andre come from?
It came from my dad, actually.
Your dad?
Yeah.
Very
But
cool.
it turns out my mom's middle name is actually Renee. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I think they're both French.
Do they call you Dre at all?
No.
Like, man, I could have been Dre. No, I'm just Eric. Speaking of which, more with Eric Andre Wilson. After the break, we'll have our keys to the game and break it all down coming up after the break.
7:36 is our clock right there.
To the second.
Welcome back to Locker Room. We're here at the Radisson Hotel and Conference Center. Tonight, our best seats in the house, David and Shirley Ness sitting there from Green Bay, courtesy of Viper Industrial. They make drinks, they make our chairs, they make everything. You can see them right there. These are pretty good.
These
right?
are great chairs.
Nice, yeah.
I complimented these chairs before we sat down.
Like the back.
Good lumbar support, I think.
Yeah,
is the
like
right
the
word,
back.
is what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah.
All right. Time now for our keys to the game, brought to you by the dispensary. Mr. Wilson will agree or not agree. He'll tell me in a moment. Pressure, Mr. Carr at quarterback. Limit big plays. They had a couple of them last night, a couple pop passes for 40-plus yards, and finish the game. That's the bottom line come Sunday, correct?
I'd agree. I totally agree. Establish ourselves against the run, take advantage of opportunities when they show themselves, and limit explosives.
In that process, we say key momentum. What's your thought process going into the game? For example, in San Francisco, in Green Bay, we like to take the crowd out the game. Be very physical, take the team away.
That's what I was just going to say. Just be physical from start to finish.
Yeah. And I think Matt LaFleur sends a message right away with a flea flicker. Last week, you get the big pass interference call, and there was 2 big chunk yardage plays. So sometimes not making the big play physically, still you can move the football down the field.
Yeah.
As long as you don't beat yourself, it feels like this is a pretty good football team overall. Youngest in the league. I read a stat where you guys are the tallest and the heaviest. Like, you have physically the biggest roster. How does, as a group of guys, all 27 and years and under?
The old men on the league.
Yeah, there's only a couple.
Yeah, one of the vets on the team.
Do you like being that kind of a veteran presence?
Yeah, for sure. Our team has a lot of football players and guys who are hungry to win, regardless. So we put all that together, all those things that you talked about together, and be consistent. Then,
Well, it should be fun. Saints come marching on Sunday. Lions divisional game Thursday night at Lambeau Field. A little bit of a break, and then you got Monday Night Football against the Raiders, plus the real bye week coming up after that. Packers linebacker Eric Wilson. Appreciate you stop by.
Thank you, bud.
Thanks for watching Locker Room. We'll see you next week. So long.
Thank you for watching Locker Room.